It is day 2 in President Obama's campaign-style pivot to get the focus back on the U.S. economy and not on what the administration continues to call phony scandals. The results and the reaction so far do not appear too promising. Here's Chief White House correspondent Ed Henry.
We've begun to lay a new foundation for stronger, more durable, more sustainable economic growth.
Day 2 of President Obama's latest push on the economy, and the early reviews are already in. The president's hometown paper, the Chicago Tribune, declaring that in the Illinois city where he launched this series of speeches, there are few signs of recovery, and residents are struggling to rebound.
The speech turned out to be all sizzle and no steak. That's assuming that there is any sizzle left after you've reheated this thing so many times.
Today in Florida, the president repeated yesterday's talking points about wanting to shift the focus away from what he calls phony scandals. Though in Jacksonville, he was greeted by a couple of dozen protesters with signs marked "Phony President," while others referred to the controversies over the IRS and Benghazi.
The point is, with an endless distraction of political posturing and phony scandals and Lord knows what, Washington keeps taking its eye off the ball. And that needs to stop.
Top administration officials will not say what the president hopes to gain from these speeches in terms of specific legislative results. Instead, they say he wants to change the conversation ahead of potentially bruising budget fights this fall that could include a possible government shutdown and another clash over raising the debt ceiling.
Unfortunately, over the past couple of years in particular, Washington hasn't just ignored the problem. A lot of times it's made things worse.
At the start of this year, Republicans threatened to hold up raising the debt ceiling unless they got more spending cuts. They backed down as the president was riding high after his inauguration, though now his numbers are coming down. In December, the president's approval rating among independents stood at 46% and has now dropped to 25% in the latest Fox News poll. At this point in his own second term that was rocky over the Iraq War, then President George W. Bush's approval rating among independents was 44%, 19 points above where Mr. Obama is now. Perhaps one reason why Republicans were emboldened earlier this week to issue new threats.
We're not going to raise the debt ceiling without real cuts in spending. It's as simple as that.
Officials here say they simply will not negotiate with Republicans on the debt ceiling because those talks back in August of 2011 spooked the markets and hurt the economy, which is why the president today declared if Republicans don't want to pay the nation's bills, they're deadbeats, a sign we're headed for a big showdown. Brett?
Here we go again. Ed Henry live on the North Lawn. Ed, thank you. By the way, the breakdown of party in the Fox News polls are as follows. 40% self-identified as Democrats in this latest poll, 34% as Republican, 22% independent or other, and 3% as don't know or wouldn't say.